awakening starseed and humans, the time of personal meetings is approaching, and we would like to take this opportunity to tell you a little more about us. Just like people on Earth, there are many different Syrian races with very different appearances and cultural mentalities, attitudes, behavior patterns and conventions. Today we are talking mainly about the inhabitants of Sirius B. It is true, we on Sirius B are mainly aquatic beings, and there are some emissaries who chose the bodies of dolphins and whales to incarnate on Terra at earlier times. The so-called mermaids and mermen also trace back to Syrian roots. But at a later time we have also co-evolved humanoid bodies. One of the most famous representatives of our species is the Egyptian sun King Akhenaten with Nefertari and their children. Our home planet has large warm oceans. There is no cold water. The land mass hosts some vast sandy deserts. Lush flora is almost exclusively confined to near the sea. Nevertheless, inland there are a few extensive lake plates with equally rich plant growth. They are like green islands surrounded by sand. Overall, there is more life in the oceans than on the mainland. The ratio of land to water masses is about the same as on Gaia, about 80 to 20. There are 3 suns.
Sirius B, a white dwarf, gives us a soft light, shines more weakly and also is smaller than the terrestrial sun.
The light of the other 2 suns also reaches us. Nevertheless, we have a night cycle, but it is brighter than on Terra, so we have a very wide radius of vision even in the dark. There is only one season with constant pleasantly warm temperatures. Syrians prefer to live in larger communities, you would call them family groups, and feel most comfortable in close proximity to each other, both physically and emotionally.
It is more important for us than for many other races, e.g., the Pleiadians, who desire more privacy, to feel a sense of belonging and security in loving connection with the beings and nature of our environment.
Which is not to say that we don't have personal retreats, we just use them less often than others, and don't need them when living together is harmonious. Because we maintain close telepathic connections, we are open books to our beloved ones and do not hide anything. This way of living together promotes great voraciousness and an exquisite sense for harmony. We are team workers and don't believe in self-appointed authorities, as each team member has unique skills and a right to say in all matters. Depending on the task at hand, the leader of a mission naturally, organically emerges as needed. He or she does not need to be elected or appointed. Our children grow up together and are shepherded and raised together. Possessive terms such as mine, yours, or ours are weak to non-existent. A mother or father cares for another couple's children as much as for his or her own. Every day, a different member of the community takes over the supervision and teaching function. This leaves everyone enough space and time for other activities and matters of the heart. Additionally, all children enjoy a greater diversity of lessons and may experience many different teacher personalities. Syrians love round, organic shapes. See the Gaudi buildings in Barcelona, that blend harmoniously with their surroundings. Wood, natural stone, hard-grained grasses make our architectural hearts leap higher. On the other hand, we can't do anything with concrete, steel, corners and sharp edges. We love rock and earth caves, tree houses, tiny houses, etc. Even our space fleet ships are organic in nature and have consciousness to some degree. The majority of our population is devoted to creative professions, whether artistic, sculpture, poetry, music, painting, or writing, research, or land and water management. We are always in search of the greater truth, beauty, and harmony of creation. Another part of our people is entirely in the service of spiritual research. All of us, out of a deep inner need, devote much time to spiritual development and growth and to sharing our insights with others. We share gladly, willingly and wholeheartedly. Militarily, however, we are not nearly as present as the Arcturians or Pleiadians. The Syrian fleet is small and usually limited to research trips and to defense of the homeworlds, if necessary. This has changed somewhat since joining the Galactic Federation and especially since the increased fleet requirements for the liberation of Terra. Mostly, however, Syrians are liaison officers and members aboard other Federation ships, as we do not have many ships. Because of our sense of community, our partner connections are also freer and more easily structured than those of the people of Earth. There are couples who stay together for a lifetime. Just as common are patchwork families or Syrians who form a fixed love relationship only temporarily or not at all. Nevertheless, everyone can certainly live together under common roofs. Much more important to us is the love that binds all life together. Children are born in the etheric body and form their tangible extremities outside the physical bodies of the parents. During this process of birth, which is a conscious act of will and during which contact has previously been made with the soul that wants to enter physical life, the parents remain in the same room. Their shared aura provides the safe and protected space in which the body forms and the soul enters. This last step takes a few hours at most. Much more time is taken by the decision, preparation and dialogue with the arriving soul. We preferably settle in or near the water, because even if we live on land, we seek and need the daily immersion into the sea. The oceans of our homeland are high-frequency energy carriers whose waters not only cleanse us, but energize, vitalize and renew cellular structures. The sea is a fountain of youth for all living beings, which is why we usually remain in one and the same body for several millennia according to your time measurement. Syrians exist in different light body structures and different dimensions, however, none of us incarnates in a more solid density than the fifth dimension, on Sirius. Sekhmet, who was worshipped as a goddess in ancient Egypt of Earth, is a Syrian seventh dimension lion being of about 5 meters height. The ancient statues preserved on Gaia depict her appearance quite accurately. She has recently returned to your planet with representatives of her family, protecting awakening souls from the grasp of shadow forces and instructing them how to develop their own inner strength. Likewise, the Egyptian goddess Isis has her roots on Sirius, while Osiris is from Canopus. Other Egyptian gods have their origins in other star races. Sobek, for example, is a descendant of the reptilians. We look forward to sharing more about Syrian starseeds among you next time. By mixing them with Terran DNA, amazing character traits have emerged. Feel free to ask questions about us to our sister and Ambassador Shadar. 𝐾𝐨𝐮'𝐫𝐞, here's to meeting you soon. The Syrians. Channel V.D. Shadar.